Hi, I'm Marcus, and so for my final project in kinesiology, I was asked to pick some things to represent artifacts for my final ISP. So I had to choose 6 artifacts, and one had to be from each unit of the course of kinesiology. So I'm here today to talk about all those, but for today specifically, I'm going to be talking about my first artifact for the first unit. So for the first unit, we learned about basic things regarding physical activity. Well, not basic physical activity, but like principles that related to physical activity and working like with principles and things. So I was given this worksheet named Global Competencies. And for Global Competencies, I was tasked with writing down 4 facts for each of the columns of the worksheet. So one was critical thinking and problem solving. The second one was innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship. The third one was learning to learn, self-aware, and self-directed learning. The fourth one was collaboration. The fifth one was communication. And the last one was global citizenship. So for this task altogether, I was to write 4 bullet points for each of them on what I thought about them and what it meant for me and all those things. And my other task was to label the 3 that I thought were most me. So I chose communication as my first one, collaboration as my second, and innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship as my third. So basically, all I was to do with the 3 that I thought were the best was just to put them in as like which ones represented me the most. So those were the ones that I picked that represented me the most. Now, I was also tasked with getting the one that had my strengths in it, which would be communication, which is why I labeled it first, and then my weakness, and for that I chose global citizenship. So the things I wrote down for that were I try to learn different languages, I like to learn about others, if a language is too hard I give up, and I don't always choose to learn about others. So that's basically why I chose it as a weakness. And for communication, I said I'm a very talkative person once you get to know me. Sometimes it doesn't matter if you know me, like I'll just talk to you randomly. So I speak English as well as a little French, so it's kind of good speaking a different language because then you can understand people. And even though I don't know everything in French, that's what I said. I also said I don't understand everything in French. I can learn from other people and then I'll understand French more and it'll be easier. And then I also said I won't talk to someone if I don't know them right away, which is not true all the time because I might talk to you anyway, even if I don't know you right away. So there's that. And then at the top of this sheet, it says, to be successful in this new global age, students will need to be competent in more than just reading, mathematics, and science. They will need to understand the knowledgeable, curious, and global issues, attuned to diverse perspectives, able to communicate ideas, and critically think, to solve complex problems, and be disposed to acting toward the common good. Put simply, preparing our students to participate fully in the world demands that we nurture and develop global competencies that will support each student to reach their full potential. So basically, this is just helping you understand things and learn about new stuff and all that. So for my second one, I chose collaboration, as I said before. And for this, I said down, I work well with people I know in groups. I come up with lots of ideas so we can get a lot done. People don't know when I work with them. People I don't know when I work with them, we get things done slower. That's why I labeled it number 2. But this is not all the time. So it really varies. But this is just what I was thinking in the moment. So, and then I also said I won't talk as much, so I usually just write down my answers and show them, which is kind of true. Like if it's like a whole group of and I don't know anyone, and I everybody else that I know is like in a different group, then I'll probably just write down my answers and show them, or like talk about it, like say it briefly, but I probably won't like discuss my answers and then write them down. I'll probably write down what I think and then show them after. But like it always depends, as I said. So, and then for my third one, I had innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship. So that was what I labeled for number 3. And I said I can create ideas that are not as likely used and are original. And then I said I can think of things that most people wouldn't understand at first. It takes me a few minutes to fully have my idea set. And then I said I have many ideas and I have a hard time narrowing it down. So that's kind of true. So when I have a bunch of ideas, I kind of put them all together, and then I basically like break off from one, and then I put them all into different like sets of different answers, which are different questions kind of thing, or ideas. So then it gives more. Then I have a hard time putting that all into one to make shorter answers but more detailed. And then I also said I also do think of things that other people wouldn't. Sometimes I'll think of an idea that nobody else has, and then they'll be like, yeah, it's a good one, or but then also I could be like, think of like the worst idea, and then people say it's good. I'm like, you know what, it's fine. And then and most of the time, most of my answers are original, so that's true. And then the other ones that I didn't say anything about were learning to learn, self-aware, and self-directed learning, and critical thinking and problem solving. So for these two, I probably didn't label them as like any number because they weren't really of any use to me. Well, they are use, but like I don't really use them a lot, I guess I'd say. So that's probably why I didn't label them down like that. But yeah, they're still there. And for these, I said I solve things that are difficult easily, and then I said I try to find the best solution to a problem. It might take me some time to come up with the right answer to the problem. It might take time to understand something, and then so that's why. And also learning to learn, self-aware, and self-directed learning. I said if I can't understand something, I will work until I can. If something changes, I do my best to adapt to it and see the good in it. I don't like to do most of my work at school because I think better at home, and I sometimes don't try hard if something is boring. So that's true. Something's like not interesting to me, and I probably won't use it, or I probably won't care for it. So I probably won't like really try at it. And that's also true for at home. Like when I'm at school, like when I get work, teachers are like, do your homework. But like for me, I'm more of like a person who does it at home because I'm not feeling rushed to like finish it in a matter of time. Like I have as much time as I need. It's more quiet. Well, it's not as like more quiet, but I'm more like used to being at home, and I can just like sit down in my room or sit at the kitchen table and just like like grab, and like I can just like grab food if I want or something like that, or like turn on the TV for noise. But like at school, you can't really turn on the TV, grab a remote, like get comfortable like on the couch or something, or so that's probably why I didn't choose these ones at all for anything. And it's pretty windy outside, so I'll give you a quick little brief show of what it is. But I want to say one more thing before I give you a quick little show and I end this for this first artifact. The reason I picked this artifact as well is because I did really good on it, and surprising for my first like actual thing in this class, I did pretty well, not really knowing what I was going into. And I like joined like 5 days into it, I'm pretty sure, so being able to like adapt quickly, it was like pretty, like a lot of people seem to struggle with it, but I seem to adapt pretty quickly and finish it within the first day and hand it in the next day it was due. So it was pretty good. So yeah, I did pretty good on it, and I'm pretty proud of it. So that's why I chose it as my first artifact. And I did exactly what the teacher wanted. I made it as detailed as possible, and yeah. So here's a quick little brief show of it. So this is kind of what it looks like. I have all my bullet points down on it, and I have the star for the one that I thought was my weakness. As I said, it's really windy outside, so it's kind of hard to see. And then I have them labeled from 1, 2, and 3 over there. So that's basically what it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed learning about my first artifact, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Hey guys, so it's Marcus again. It's been a few hours since I did a video about my first artifact, and so I'm here to talk about my second artifact. And before I talk about that, I just want to say that I'm trying to put in as much detail as possible about each artifact, so you can understand where I'm coming from and like why I chose them and all that. But yeah, that's it. So the first one I did outside, so I decided to do the second one somewhere cool because it was pretty hot outside and it was getting windy. So I just decided to do my second one inside and wait to do my next one maybe back outside. But yeah, I decided to change it up a little bit. So I'm here to talk about my second artifact. So for my second artifact, this unit mainly focused on physical activity, and within that, it focused on learning about different I don't know how you would say them, like different things within that. So one being violence, and then like race and culture, and then gender equality, diversity. Yeah. So those mainly focused on like those points inside of physical activity. So for my second artifact, I decided to choose one of the things I did in class, which was physical activity timelines, I guess I'd call them. So for my first one, sorry about that. So for my first let me explain what it's about first. So in this activity, we were to choose 3 different articles relating to physical activity that happened in like the years in different decades, and one had to be about diversity in sport, one had to be about violence in sport, and one had to be about race and culture in sport. So the first one I chose was focused on diversity, and so this happened in 2015, and this is I'll read a little like thing of it. So it says diversity in sport 2015. So it says the Buffalo Bills made history Wednesday night by hiring Catherine Smith as the NFL's first full-time female assistant coach, signaling that the infamously all-male world's pro sports is starting to creep into the 21st century. The Arizona Cardinals hired Jen Walter to be an assistant coaching intern prior to the 2015 season. Meanwhile, in the NBA, San Antonio Spurs made Bucky Hammond the first female assistant coach in the league history prior to 2014-2015 seasons, and she led the team as head coach during the off-season summer league. Major League Baseball saw its first woman placed in a coaching position when Justine Siegel was hired by the Oakland Athletics as a guest instructor last year. Women have also broken into the referring ranks of both the NFL and NBA. And then you were to provide a link for it, so I provided a link, and it says www, and then blah, 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 female coach hire the latest gender diversity. So I'm going to do a little review on it. So basically, it's saying that women were first recognized as being able to, I guess, coach teams in the NFL and NBA. And like this got people talking and like showing that women are allowed to coach a team as well as men, like they're just as equal, and basically just showing that like if a man can coach a team, so can a woman. Like it should be fair, equally split in everything in each way. So that's basically what it's talking about. So for my second one, it is for violence in sport. So this says violence in sport 2004. So October 11th, the Nebraskas defeated the Missouris 41-24. As the celebration was just happening, many Tiger fans trespassed onto the field to continue the celebration of the win. Just as the one of the cameraman turned to face Houston, he went and threw a sucker punch at Matthew Scott. At this moment, he fell to the ground, grabbing his nose, and screamed in distress. So this is due to talk about violence. So basically what happened here was the Nebraskas defeated the Missouris, and I guess one of their players, Houston, didn't appreciate the win from the Nebraskas. So I guess he got onto the field and punched Matthew Scott in the nose, or in the face, I guess. Sucker punched. So punched Matthew Scott, and he fell to the ground. So basically, this was just like wow, you guys won, so that's not fair. I guess basically that's what they're saying. They won, so now he's mad, so he punched him in the face. So, and this got a lot of people talking because this is a big issue. He's a player on the team. What should happen to him? Should he be kicked off? Should he be not paid? What should happen? So I feel violence is a really big thing in sports even now. In this decade, or I guess the decade hasn't really changed, but whatever. Anyway, in this century, I feel it's still a big thing. Violence is still a big thing, and I don't feel why people should just be able just because you're playing a sport, you shouldn't be able to punch someone else in the face because they won over you and you didn't win, and yeah. So basically, I feel this was just not something really right to have him to do. Just because he lost, I feel he shouldn't have done that. So yeah, that's basically my view on it. Why even? And then there's also there's also fights about other sports So this I guess was football. So yeah, this is football, and I guess this also happens in hockey and baseball and basketball, all those things. And I just feel soccer. I feel I don't know why they have to feel the need to do that. There's no point in it. It's just not great for anyone. Why would I don't think the team that won wants to be punched in the face because they won and the other team didn't. I feel that's not fair, and it's just not something that should happen, in my view. So that was, and then I provided a little link for it as well. So now I'm going to talk about the third one. So this is Race and Culture in Sports, 1990 to 2000. So this goes, so read it. When the hip-hop culture struck the NBA in the late 90s and early 2000s, people got scared. Here were these giant black guys dressing provocatively, rocking chains, looking like a plaid and full characters. In the aftermath of the Mouse in the Palace, an event that, on basic racial terms, saw an enraged man attack an innocent white man under the false pretenses. Try spinning that controversive white American. David Stern instituted a dress code for players, also because of Allen Iverson. So I guess this is just being shown that one race attacked another race for wearing something. That race didn't like it, so this race attacked this race. Even if this person didn't do anything, that race was still the contributor of it. So this race got mad and did this to this race, and that's basically what I feel happened like this. So I feel my feel on this is that people shouldn't be judged because of how they look or where they're from, and because someone else did something, should that person be judged too? And why? I just don't feel. I feel the need to say why should this happen, or why is this even happening, and things like that. I just don't feel it's right, and I feel everybody should be included to be able to do what they want, and they should be able to live the life they want to, and not be scared to live it because of someone else's doing and things like that. So, as I did with my first artifact, I talked about it a little bit, and I said why I thought it. I also picked this because I did do great on it. I got almost perfect on it, so this is why I also picked it. And it was pretty fun to do. It was pretty cool to research different decades and see what happened to them. And yeah, so now I'm going to give you a quick little show of it, and then I will probably move on to my third artifact. So here's a little show of it. So here is the first one in Diversity in Sport 2015, and I show a little picture and then a little brief description of it, and then I have the link that I provided as well. And then I also have Violence in Sport 2004, and I have a little brief description of it and a picture as well as the link. And then also have here I have Race and Culture in Sport 1990 to 2000, a brief description of, again, a picture and as well as the link. So, this one was something pretty fun to talk about as well as with the first one, and I guess I will see you guys when I do my next one. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this one as well, and can't wait to see you next. Bye!